Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel of Gondor, and today we're back in the Udun Foothold and we are ready to start allegiances. So, the first thing that we got in here is this remote quest. Expedition organizers can be found in allegiance halls. They are Worthy, Glorelas, Tankram, and Astar Hayward. And I think this one is a quest that you get to open up the allegiance dailies. We'll check in just a moment. There is still much work to be done in Gorgoroth. The allegiances of the free people seek adventurers to continue the work of gaining control of the region. Report to your allegiance expedition organizer to find out how you can help. And what is an allegiance expedition organizer? I think Eomer is about to explain that to us. So this allegiance icon is really nice. I really like the looks of it. And now we're gonna see what is this all about. Beriathan, you have performed many great deeds for the free peoples of Middle-earth, but many folks still require aid. To that end, I believe it would be most beneficial for you to swear your allegiance to one of these groups. This would allow you to properly focus your efforts and your skills, thereby contributing as much as you can to their particular needs. Select an allegiance by bringing up your reputation panel and selecting the allegiance tab. You may then choose which of the allegiances to aid first. Once you have finished the complete story of that allegiance, you may then select another to complete, but you can only undertake one allegiance at a time. So, basically, as it said, you need to pick in here your allegiance. Here you can join allegiances and toggle your active allegiance and track rewards and advancement progress. Earn allegiance points by experiencing the story of Mordor. So, we can join 4 different allegiances. The Kingdom of Gondor with Aragorn, and you will aid a new king as he seeks to make safe his lands and his people. Prince Imrahil can be found at Kirith Gorgor, just inside the ruins of the Black Gate. We also have the Elves of LOTRO. Now that the war is ended, many preparations are underway. Swear your allegiance to Galadriel and Celeborn, and you will aid a cause of elves there in Rivendell and beyond. Eladan and Elrohir at Kirith Gorgor. The Durin's folk. Dain Ironfoot fell before the gates of Erebor, and his son Thorin III succeeded to the throne. Swear your allegiance to Durin's folk, and you will aid the new king under the mountain as he seeks to ensure their place in Middle-earth. And you need to find Dori in Kirith Gorgor. And finally, the Hobbits. Swear your allegiance to Merry, Pippin, Frodo, and Sam, and you will join them in celebration, adventures, and a good number of hearty meals around the environs of Ithilien and Mordor. Merry or Gul'dan can be found at Kirith Gorgor, just inside the ruins of the Black Gate. So, how do we do this? When you select your allegiance, you will get a new sort of quote-unquote reputation bar, but you can only level that through allegiance tokens, and you cannot accelerate that with tomes. And after you reach certain thresholds, you will unlock more quests to complete the story of your allegiance. There's a total of 30 levels to unlock. And there are, the dwarf and the elf allegiances are really good. I enjoyed those stories a whole lot. The allegiances in Gondor, I thought, well, it was nice. Nothing too good, nothing to write home about, but it was not terrible. The only one that I didn't like at all was the Hobbit allegiance. It didn't do nothing for me. But the reasoning I had back in the day, which I think is still the same reasoning I have today, is doing these allegiances in some sort of geographic order. Because the Hobbits will have your allegiance quests in Mordor and Ithilien, Aragorn, and the Kingdom of Gondor has their allegiances in Minas Tirith. The elves are in Lothlorien, and the dwarves are in Erebor. So I really like doing this in this sort of order: hobbits, men, elves, and dwarves, because it would make too much sense. Otherwise, like going all the way north to Erebor just to go back to Minas Tirith, it's all over the place. And that's why it works better for me that way. We are still going north to Erebor on the next batch of content that we are going to undertake. But for the time being, yeah, let us do allegiances in geographical order, so that means we begin with the hobbits of the company. The first allegiance you join is accelerated through allegiance levels, require fewer total allegiance points. Each allegiance you join requires more allegiance points to complete until your 4th allegiance, which advances at a standard pace. Are you sure you want to join this allegiance now? Sure. Perfect. And here we have the tracker for the Hobbit allegiances. As you can see here, I have lots of allegiance tokens. This one that are worth 2,000 points. I got some of these through questing in Gorgoroth, and some of them I had saved. These are the ones that I got after completing the Lost Lures, and these ones are the ones that you get from the dailies. And that means that we can technically level up our Hobbit allegiance to max right now, but let us advance this quest in order. Complete chapter 1 of your chosen allegiance storyline. So, all allegiance contacts, as you have seen, are located in Kidded Gorgor, just outside the Black Gate, I think it is. I mean, it's right next to the ruins of the Black Gate. So it's really not that far. Yeah, here we go. And this is something really funny and a little unintended, but you have 2 Mithrandirs, one for the allegiances and another one for the Black Book of Mordor. So for now, we're gonna just focus on these guys in here. Merry and Pippin. Alright, let's see what the hobbits want.
You must help us settle this argument.
Beriathan, you have come along at just the right moment. You must help us settle this argument. You see, our good friend Gandalf here thinks we should not be allowed to poke our noses into Mordor. Yeah, and he's right, you shouldn't. The things I have seen there, that's... Well, I was gonna say that's not fit for hobbits, but 2 hobbits went into Mordor and... Well, you know what I mean. You're not allowed to go, okay?
Gandalf won't hear reason from us. Perhaps you can move him.
Really, Gandalf, I don't see why we shouldn't be allowed to go in. Plenty of others have gone in, some and Frodo included. Well, I'll admit, they are not the best of examples. But we are not proposing to march right up the slope of Mount Doom. We wish only to take a few brief strolls in the place, to be able to say that we saw it with our own eyes, find a bit of treasure perhaps to take home with us.
Mordor is more dangerous a place than you imagine.
Treasure. Huh. Yes, I see. Now we got to the bottom of this foolish notion. I tell you once more, Mordor is no place for hobbits. There are things down that path beyond what either of you have ever reckoned or encountered. In truth, I should think you have had enough adventure for 3 lives of hobbits put together, both of you.
Steady now.
More than we have reckoned or encountered, you say? Yet we have encountered quite a lot between the Shire and here. Not just Moria and the Pelennor Fields, which I suppose you remember somewhat, but plenty in between when you were not around to nanny us. I say it is we who are capable of more than you imagine. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
Gandalf laughs. Calm. I advise, albeit sometimes strongly, but do not rule. Or had you forgotten that you had both submitted yourselves to the rule of others? If you wish to go into Mordor, it is Éomer and Aragorn you must ask. But let us forget this matter for a time. I have something to show you. That is why I had come looking for you both to begin with, as it happens. I cannot show it to you here, however, because it is a place and not a thing. It is a short ride out of this blasted place, and it would be best if we set off at once.
It is known as Bar Thrinion, or the Hidden House, for it is nearly that. Hidden and much abandoned. Nothing some rolled up sleeves and little honest labor cannot set right. Heed my words.
This place, Bar Thrinion, is yours by royal decree of the Kingdom of Gondor. You might think this is some jest of our old friend Aragorn, but in truth it was the soldiery and the rangers of Ithilien who petitioned him that it be so. I have brought you here prematurely, I confess. I know not how many men will be here tomorrow to make the place somewhat more habitable. I thought, however, you should like to see it sooner so you could make your own plans. It will serve as a fine residence, indeed, for the time that you dwell here in Gondor before heading back Shireward. And with any luck, it will keep you out of trouble and away from some of your more foolish notions. For a few days at least, if we're lucky. Well, come on then, let us step inside. This I must see for myself.
Almost home-like this is.
Is this considered a common home by the big folk around here? It is bigger than any house we ever saw in Brilliant, and I dare say the whole of the Smiles would fit in this one main hall.
Oi, this wants a thorough cleaning.
Well, I suppose we really ought to have a look around and see what we can see, hadn't we? Explore the central courtyard, quarters, passages, kitchens. I hope we get to see this place restored. But we gotta get to it. So, this is the central courtyard? Yeah, the central pool must have been lovely when it was clean and clear. Yeah, I can imagine that. I say, look at that. Just think what you could do with this. I must go, I'm afraid business to attend to. You three make yourself at home here, as much as you're able. Yeah, the hobbits would just run around. These rooms would make a handsome quarters for a hobbit, if restored. They will just keep running around and saying how marvelous this place is. We just gotta keep running around and making sure to explore all the corners of this place. Little but the kitchens lit off of this way. Little remains of ovens or cookery, but the kitchens must have been fine and well provisioned once. There are spaces that might have been dining areas and studies up here. Is that an overgrown garden beyond? Seems it is. I don't know why the first time I did this, I had such a hard time finding some of these locations. It was ridiculous, but on hindsight, it wasn't that hard.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I don't know if either of you observed the fact, but it so happens that we have everything we need for a simple makeshift meal. Beginning with this old table, someone happened to live right here. I know that I could use a bite to it. What about you too? There are crates of food and some bottles of old wine with the seals intact. Some light, a bit of straw for a seat, and a few plates will help. If you gather those, Beriathan, Mary and I will work on cups, knives, and anything else we can muster up. And they will just keep running around. So I would guess the kitchens are a good place to start looking. There should be plenty of things in here. Crate, wine. Anything? Maybe in the hobbit rooms. Yeah. But I think this plate, at least the plates, need some washing. You're not gonna eat on them like they are you? Because I don't remember you talking about water. So I hope you're not thinking what I think you're thinking. Because otherwise I will join you in the meal, but not take part of it. No way. Yeah, I mean, this plate is in a stagnant pool. You're not gonna eat out of it, are you? I know hobbits like a fine meal as much as anyone else, but that's a little too much. Alright, so we need some more crates and straw. Alright, here's a crate. We need a little bit more straw. Anyone? Anything around here? Portcullis? No. I don't need a port Achilles. I need some straw. If you guys would just stop running around and help me with this. Lay the things around the table? Which table? Ah, this table. Yeah, but no, the plates, no. Please, no. Talk to Pippin.
Well, I say all this hard work deserves a meal.
There we are, a meal all laid out. Fine work, friends. Well, don't just stand about, let us eat. Not standing in ceremony, not under these circumstances. I am far too starved for it anyway. Yeah, I can tell, Pippin. It's just us friends here anyway, Beriathan. Yeah, but the plates... Say, this isn't half bad, really. You sure? These Gondorians know their wine and dry provisions. And hunger is the best seasoning, I always say. Hunger, good company, pepper, salt, and cheer. There now, that's a bit better. Indeed, I could nearly go on adventure again. Me, I'd like to poke around here some more. Well, then adventure tomorrow, perhaps. Yeah, the stagnant pool and the plates and everything, you know. What a remarkable place Gandalf found for us. Amazing to think that it is ours. Can't you imagine what it would look like after the Gondorians have tidied it up? I should like to chat with them and make sure some of our things are placed in some of the rooms, and that the kitchens in particular are restored, if anything. My, but listen to me. A meal, some good company, and something to do and think about is welcome in this odd free time after we won. But I hope old Gandalf doesn't think he's fooled us into forgetting about Mordor. We should still very much like to go. Yeah, I don't think Frodo and Sam want to go back, so... That's just to you. Alright, that's just to you.
To adventures!
Oh, Beriathan, I hope you stay about, have some more meals with us, and help us make our way in these days we stay here. They treat us like princes, it is true, but sometimes like the pampered kind who are well fed and can do very little of their own accord. That is no life for a hobbit, if you ask me. Perfect, so, talk to King Eomer at Udun Foothold, and here we have a journey to Barthoredian, which is a 5-minute travel skill, which is comes very handy, especially the edible one. But all of them are nice to have. I mean, such a short cooldown, there's no biggie. Now, you can do the introduction of all the allegiances you want, but you can only focus on one at first. But since we are already doing hobbits, let's continue with hobbits. We're gonna talk with Eomer and complete this, and then I think we'll need to go to the Allegiance Hall in Barthoredian. I know you will be of great help to those folk, Beriathan. May your skills and your effort on behalf of that allegiance prove worthwhile as you adventure in Mordor. Perhaps one day you will return to fight on behalf of my own kingdom. Ha! We will fight together again, if that comes to pass, and let the foes of the Mark tremble. But for now, friend, there are other folk who have need of you. Aid your chosen allegiance to the best of your ability. That's it. Now, talk to the expedition organizer. That's basically all there is to it. We just now barter tokens for a allegiance reputation, unlock the next chapters. There are a total of 7 chapters. We have already completed the first one, so I think that means that you unlock a new chapter every 5 levels or so. Here we have the Allegiance Hall finally restored. This pool looks nice when it gets cleaned and everything. And here we have one of the expedition organizers. Greetings! There's still much work ahead of us, and I have been assigned to determine areas most in need of your assistance. Report to me each day for a new expedition assignment. You can then visit the bounty boards for specific tasks, though the boards here will only have tasks for that day's expedition. If you wish to do more, you can find bounty boards in each region of Gorgoroth with additional threats. Sorry. So that was basically the introduction, and here you can see we have Doramarth and Agarnaith. We have daily request and errand for Pippin, and we have the weekly quest. So that's the way it works basically. You get the daily expedition, you need to complete 4 quests in each one of those, either one of those areas listed. You check the bounty board and you see all the quests that you have available. Most of these quests can be advanced on the landscape. There are a couple of crafting instances that you can check at the Udun Foothold, and there are also some out-of-bestowal quests inside the crafting instances. But for the most part, this is just it. And I know this is a really quick summary of all there is to do with allegiances and the daily quests, but once again, we don't need to worry about that right now because we just need to keep leveling up our allegiances. So I think we're gonna use this one in here, 5,000 allegiance points. Allegiance level 4. Oh, that level up animation is so cool. I didn't remember it was so. So allegiance is now level 5. So we start claiming the rewards. Some tokens of service, Hobbits of the Company, allegiance level 1. Oh yeah, this is a lot of deeds. Allegiance level 2. Level 3. Level 4. And here we have level 5. The next chapter, a first 44 We grab this one. And this will give us this item on our back. So what do we have here? Your presence has been requested in Barthorenian. Your Hobbit friends might be up to something. Where are they? Oh, these are the Hobbit quarters. They look nice. They look really nice indeed. I'm really glad this was taken care of. But where are the Hobbits? This Allegiance Hall is huge. We only got to see a small part of it on our introduction quest. And here we have the Hobbits. Thank you very much.
Ah, there you are.
We had been looking for you. What happy luck that you are here now.
You will ask for us, won't you?
We have talked it over and made up our minds, Mary and I. But say, before I go into all that, look around you. See what those big folk have done to the place? It's hard to believe we were just here when it was quite an old ruin. It's no ruin now. Gandalf must have been quite desperate to turn our heads away from Mordor if he felt the need to drag us here before they'd gone to work. Ah, silly me. But Mordor is exactly why we wanted to talk to you. We have not abandoned the idea of going only, well, we were hoping you might ask Eomer and Aragorn on our behalf. You see, we've got some things to attend to here before we set off. And if you ask me, Merry couldn't bear to see the disappointed look on Eomer's face if he should disapprove the idea. Will you do it? They have both been carrying on their kingly business around the Black Gate. You will find them just outside in the Slack Hills, I imagine. Ah, the Slack Hills. Okay. Yeah, Garliv, I know, these hobbits, once again, they do love having us run around like crazy, but that's it. Here we have Candur. With him you will do the crafting instances if you so choose, but once again I'm hoping I have enough tokens to be able to level up all the allegiances without the need of any of this. But on the off chance that we do need to do some allegiance quests, I'll I'll get to it. Most of them are really simple to complete. But for the time being, I'm just gonna talk to Eomer and Aragorn and continue helping the hobbits. And don't you worry, Gandalf. Don't you worry, Mithrandir. Keep on thinking what to do about the meeting of the masters and Lighted's rule over Mordor. Well, we have, for the time being, stopped Lighted. So I think that gives us a little bit more time. Just enough time to finish allegiances. Here we go. All right.
But of course, I grant it.
Master Merigold Wina wishes to see Mordor. I would not deny him it, for all that he has done and been through.
I do grant permission.
Poke their noses into Mordor. That is exactly how they put it, I imagine. Well, to be honest, I would mislike the thought of those two going in alone, but if you will promise to stick close by and look after them, then they have my blessing. To Pippin, I do grant leave. You hear a gruff, familiar throat behind. A familiar throat being cleared behind you. So, what do you think about it? I think this is just great. Don't you agree? I mean, what can go wrong with two more hobbits in Mordor, right?
I beg you keep an eye on these two.
A word with you, Beriathan. I know well enough that I have done little to hinder Merry and Pippin an excursion into Mordor. I hope I have lent some gravity to it, however. More importantly, I would ask you to stick by them. On this point, I ask a favor of you. Take them into Urun when you go, and keep a sharp eye open for things that do not belong there. I have some reason to believe you may find something of interest to you and to our two meddling friends, if you do. Yeah, thank God for the 5-minute cooldown on the Allegiance whole travels. This would be a big pain otherwise. Cool music, of course.
Then it is done? We may go?
They said yes? I knew they would. Pippin and I have packed our packs. With the help of all these friendly big folk, we are well provisioned indeed. Let us meet within... what's that they call it? The foothold in Urun? I was just there, you know. Yeah, thank God for Warden Masters as well. In between these two, I don't think we should have any issues with this, but this is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of the Hobbit allegiances. They have you running all around the place, and it's not that fun in my opinion. And the payoff for all this, it's truly not that big one, in my opinion. But you will see most of the allegiance quests for the men, the elves, and the dwarves are instance quests. And that makes them also faster to complete. But yeah, here you have the look at Urun. What do you think of it?
Look at it out there. Rather dismal.
Pippin and I have just been enjoying the view, wondering if you'd ever arrive. We might as well start on down there, I suppose. Well, no point in loitering now. Let's be off. What do you say we make our way to the first crossroads on down into the valley? You can make it out from here, only just. Yeah, only just. But... well, there we go. Alright, here we are then. Explore the soldiers' camps. What soldiers' camps? Ah, a little bit further to the east. Thankfully, thank God, these enemies should now be gray. Because all of them are 105. Yeah, we have out-leveled them. And 106. Yeah, we shouldn't have any issue pulling aggro in here, because all of them will ignore us. Maybe a few stragglers, a few 107 enemies are in this place, but I don't think so. This is all very dreary somehow. Let us go up a way and see if we can turn north. Not to say I told you so, but told you so. Everybody told you so. Talk to Pippin. What was that? Ah, just my stomach growling again. I think we should talk seriously, my friends.
Even in Mordor, one must make time for eating.
All this wandering about in the realm of the Dark Lord is well enough, though I don't see why another trollhole laden with elven blades hasn't presented itself just yet. But I will not keep this up with our stomachs growling, when so many fine provisions are weighing down my pack. You wanted to turn northward, Mary? Why don't we head up that way and stop at that flat bit there? It doesn't look like anyone should bother us, and we'll restore ourselves properly before moving on. Have it your way. You mean this flat area in here? Is this the place you were talking about, little hobbits? The two hobbits quickly lay out a considerable amount of food on a thin Gondorian kilt. Yeah, you two are the only ones I think would throw a picnic in Mordor. But if that's what you want, have it your way. I hope you wash the plates this time. You have only begun eating when Mary looks up, startled.
Did you hear something?
Did you hear that too? I am hardly sure of myself, but I thought I heard something. Something voice-like, coming from uphill. Quickly and quietly, friends. Let us see what it was, if it was anything at all. The source of the sound. You know, I was ready to enjoy a fine meal, unwashed plates and all, so I hope this is worth it. Yeah, you see some level 107 stragglers, but nothing too major. Come all this way with news to sell, and we will find a buyer. What? Here we've got news about the wizard and what's going on in the halflings' lands. They'll pay, just you wait. Halflings are all they care about in... Gah! What was that? Spy? Might be. Best be moving on, boys. Mary looks uncharacteristically pale. I have lost my appetite for food and adventure and any promise of treasure or gold, Pippin. Let us call it a day and hit back, shall we?
I can't believe my ears.
Wizard? Halfling lands? And that voice. I would have sworn it was one of Bill Fenrir's friends. Come all the way to Mordor. Yeah. So... there you go. From what I remember, that's basically it. All the Hobbit Allegiance is doing is setting up the scouring of the Shire. Each quest that we will do with the Hobbits will advance the intrigue a little bit, but not enough for the mystery to be solved, of course, because that's gotta be left for the actual scouring of the Shire. So, basically, that's all there is to do in the Hobbit Allegiance. Some meals, some mysteries, but nothing else from what I remember. So now we just gotta keep going. We have Allegiance 6, Allegiance 7, Allegiance 8, 9, and Allegiance 10. Hasty words, watching eyes. Your presence has been requested in Barthoranian. Your hobbit friends might be up to something. So as you see here, you don't need to to use the item, but this is just a friendly reminder of where to go. So what now, guys?
Good, you're here.
It is good you are here, just when we've wanted you as usual, Beriathan. We have some grave matters to discuss.
Now, about this pipeweed.
Do you remember what those squinty fellows said? The ones we caught talking to each other in Mordor? They wanted to sell news, and that news, as best as Mary and I could tell, had to do with a wizard and the halfling lands. Gandalf and the Shire, we asked ourselves. Well, if it was not the Shire, then we're both dwarves. But Gandalf? That just didn't feel right. And then we tried to think of any other wizards, and the first that came to mind was that snake, Saruman. And then it all began to fall suspiciously into place. Did we not see fellows just as those three among Saruman's rabble? I think we did. Well, and that brings us around to the favor we hope to ask you. Someone has got to go back there and see what that old white sweet talker is up to, and poke around and see if there's anything to explain any more of what those three were talking about.
We had been waiting for you.
If you remember, the Ents are supposed to have kept watch on him up in his tower, where he is a prisoner of sorts. Perhaps you will see some of our Ent friends when you are there? If you do, give them our regards and find out how they are doing for us. At this rate, it feels that it may be a long while before we might see them again. Flooded Isengard. What was this quickest route to Flooded Isengard? I don't remember, let me check. Helm's Deep, Caphold, Isengard, Dagora's Camp. Helm's Deep, it seems. So, we're gonna master in Helm's Deep. Stable Master here.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Isengard. That's gonna do it, I hope. Been a long while since we were here. How is old Saruman faring, I wonder? Let us continue looking. Ah, of course we have here all the deeds. I don't know why they had to add deeds for that. For every single level. If they had added deeds for every 5 levels when you unlock the quests, that would have worked better, in my opinion. What do we have here? Quick Beam? Yeah, good old Quick Beam. Good to see you, Quick Beam. What news do you have? Why, if it isn't our little friend the man? What has brought you all the way back here, I wonder? For the last I heard of it, you and many others had gone east, far east, to deal with matters quite out of the soil of Ents. Perhaps it is to some message you bear to Treebeard? Or to question that wizard, or former wizard? I am not quite sure what he is now, or how to name him. Well, as it happens, you will find both of them up ahead, for Treebeard and several other Ents have just been gathered to watch him. They have only been there several days, and might be gone in several more, so you are likely to catch them. Oh, there we go. Treebeard and other Ents are indeed gathered before Ortang, talking together. Treebeard, good to see you, my friend. Oh, here is Beriathan again. Remarkable that you should show up just as we were discussing all the events that had led to this. Treebeard indicated the flooded waste around them. And what really should be done with Saruman? Oh yes, I know. Mithrandir bade us keep him up here. And now that we have settled in, we are not in any mood to be hasty. But still the question remains. For how long? And by whose reckoning? A month, such as yours? That is a while, I suppose. It all, even the elves, seem hasty to we ends, and so we find it exceedingly difficult to judge. And yet, all the same, I cannot help but feel it has been long enough and that we should release him. But come, I am being most inhospitable. Tell me, what has brought you to us here today, You tell Trevor the riddle of what you overheard in Mordor. Saruman. It might very well be Saruman. Mom. He is hiding somewhere within his rock just now, but will be out upon that high place there very soon, I believe. Why don't you look around for anything else to explain this little mystery until he is out, and then we shall see what we shall see. Alright, investigating this mystery we will, I guess. Barrel of pipeweed, okay. There we go. Hornblower pipeweed, package 1st of March, 1319. What other clues can we possibly find here? Just more pipeweed, it seems? Hornblower pipeweed, package 5th of July, 3018. Alright, let's keep looking. Now, not exactly sure how to do this, because as you can see, allegiances might take a while, especially today that we have done the introduction as well, but all of them are roughly the same length. So I'm thinking, do we stop the episode at the 1 hour mark, or do we just go on until we finish this allegiance? I'm leaning towards the latter, but we'll see. Hornblower pipeweed, package 11th of July, 3018. What about this one? Hornblower pipeweed, package 25th of June, 3017. It seems Saruman's been busy smoking and all. Okay, here we have another one. Hornblower pipeweed, packaged 14th of May, 3018. Hornblower pipeweed, packaged 9th of August, 3017. Return to Trevor. Okay, so it seems Saruman's been receiving packages from the Shire for the last 2 years at least. And will the Ents find this concerning? I don't think they will. The Beriathan returns, and so soon. But not too late either, I think. For there is Saruman up high upon his tower. You have come all this way. Why not you go and see what he has to say? We may hope he may answer your riddle, and if he does not, perhaps you can help us decide a question of whether we have kept him locked in there too long. Approach Orthanc. Okay, I thought you were talking about the main stair, but well, glad to see there's a balcony on this side of the tower too. That saves us a lot of running around. A voice comes from above. A visitor or a ruse? Will you listen to my plea with a fair and open heart, truly? What do you have to say, Saruman? Free me from this prison, and I will make amends to Fangorn and Rohan. I shall heal, regrow, and repair the wrongs done in my name. What Isengard was and the waste it has become swiftly dispelled Saruman's lie. Yeah, I thought so. Mordor is enthroned. Yes? Who better than I knows how to cleanse it of the shadow and corruption gathered there? Consider dethroned Mordor? Yeah, you would love to sit in here, don't you? Saruman wishes to seize power and rule of Mordor for his own. Yeah, imagine Saruman in Mordor, sure. My past wisdom has other uses. I might teach it, bringing wisdom and prosperity to the free peoples. You shudder at the vision of toiling hobbits whose lives need little improvement only to be left alone in peace. Yeah, no, thank you. I'm not falling for you, Saruman. Your spell is broken. Fool! I will keep to my tower then, and the rest of you may rot. Yeah, keep it in there, Treebeard. Brom, brom, brom. You have not had such a courteous conversation with old Saruman after all, have you? You tell Treebeard what Saruman said and what you judge he meant by it. The old int's eyes grow sad. Yes, well, perhaps letting him go just now would be a bit hasty, after all. I feel sorry for him at times, for I do not like to cage any creature of any temperament in stone as he is caged. And yet, you have shown us that he is unbroken and might still try to do much harm if he were free. No, I shall not release him, not just now, at any rate. I am delighted that you have paid us this visit all the same, Beriathan, and you must send my regards to the halflings, Pippin and Merry, and remind them that they are always welcome in my woods. Yeah, we'll bring the message. I'm sure they will be glad to hear it. So yeah, let us leave Saruman to ponder a little bit more about everything he has done, if he is capable of such a thing. Yeah, let us tell Merry and Pippin about this. You're gonna love this, guys. I'm sure.
Dear old Treebeard, bless his heart.
Why, if it isn't Beriathan? Have you been to Isengard? You are back already? You must tell us all you saw. As you tell it, the two hobbits' eyes go wide with amazement. Slippery old snake Saruman is, Pippin says at last. But I'll tell you what I do not like. It is that bit about helping the free peoples. Something about it makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. And then there is the matter of those pipe with barrels. There were many more than the two we found somewhere, I suppose. It was very clever of you to take note of the dates stamped on them. We must think about that, Merry. It is quite a lot of time between early summer of 2 years ago and the first of this very March. What's he up to, do you suppose? Well, we'll continue investigating then. Next. Level 14. And level 15. So, claim, level 11. 12, 13. 14. 15. Deeper in. Your presence has been requested in Barthorenia and your hobbit friends might be up to something, yeah.
Good, you're here.
Ah, there you are, Beriathan. We're going back into Mordor. We feel that we simply must. Will you come with us? We shall meet in the Udun Foothold then. Then we're agreed. Okay, Udun Foothold once again. Yeah, lots of running around for the hobbits, as you can see. So where is the next picnic then?
We must go. We simply must.
We have found Golodon here, who has come back from out there, and believes he knows where those disreputable fellows should be. When we are ready, he will point us on our way. Shall we go? I have other duties to which I must attend, but I can go some little way with you and see that you are headed on the right course. Thank you, Golodon.
Well, we've got to go back in now. That's how I figure it. Pipeweed and suspicious fellows. Now I want answers even more than I thought I wanted treasure.
I feel certain we are on the trail.
This is near to the place Golodon thought they should be. They are not standing out in plain view at any rate. I suppose the only thing is to begin looking around for them or signs of where they have gone. Well, come on then, don't just stand there. Okay, are you gonna go with me, or shall I begin do this on my own? Nothing? Then we had better keep looking, I suppose. Yeah, maybe a camp up there, up above. You think that one would be it? Look, you can see the Isenmouth from here. Not a friendly sort of gate, is it? Yeah, you're right. Not at all. Not at all. Say, do you think we might stop here and... No, Pippin, this is not the time for a meal. We must keep moving, yeah, thank you. But, wait, what was that? This is a fair bit more dangerous than our first excursion. Well, never mind. Let's keep going. Yeah, once again, Mordor is no place for hobbits. You shouldn't be here. Anything? At all? Guys? Have you found anything? Look sharp! I say, what's that there?
Look at that!
Just look what I found over there between those rocks. Footmarks, and they're too soft and narrow to be orc feet by my reckoning. Come, let us see where they lead. Ah, these ones. The prints led ever onward and upward, and look, there is a whole trail of them. Is this the place? Ah, okay. So we need to keep using the prints lit ever onward and upward. Yeah, we need to keep checking this to unlock the next set of footprints. Yeah, that's a lot of footprints. We have found the three half-orcs again. You three, why? We have got word with you? What's this then? Halflings in Mordor? Well done, that bit all and up like menfolk too. I'm warning you, he will tell us about the pipeweed barrels in Isengard and the wizard and what you meant about the halfling lands. Or you shall have a taste of our blades. Har! Or sell you three to the red-eyed more like, along with the news we've got. Look out! away! Save yourself! You didn't still breathing? Answer us. What about the pipeweed? Well, I already defeated the troll. Please don't tell me this. This is bugged. That would suck if it was. Seems, yeah, I killed it too fast. All right. It seems, yeah, we gotta wait until the quest objective changes. And in any case, we gotta defeat this guy really slow. We were too fast the last time. Oh, come on again. You then, still breathing? Answer us. What about the pipeweed? Yeah, we can get some answers at least. At last.
I know it.
That's done, man. I know it. And you a lot? So you found some barrels in Isengard, did you? That isn't half of it. He devolves into paint coughing for several moments. There's plenty more where that came from, in your precious Shire. That land is good and defended it is, ripe for the plucking. With that, the half-orc expires. Hobbit kind is not so easily cowed as your wizard will find out the hard way. Oh, why if it isn't enough to... You okay, Pippin? Those weren't answers. Those were riddles. Riddles that would drive even old Bilbo mad.
It is high time to head back, I say.
Poor fellow. He will not be dearly missed by anyone, I suppose. Not even his craven comrades. I cannot say that I am satisfied, but I think we have done all we could this day. It is time we headed back. Mary is right, of course. We are done with Mordor for now. Perhaps we're good. Let us get going then, before anything else unpleasant can happen. Oh, you're so kind, taking us to Bartharanian.
We have earned something for our troubles, I will say that much.
I wonder if we shall ever unravel the mystery we stumbled across out in Mordor. Somehow I do not feel much hope, although I expect we shall have to turn homeward sometime, and then we shall see what we shall see. I will confess I'm quite down. Yes, I think, for a spell we should try to dwell on brighter things.
You won't find me going back there.
Now that I've had a bit to eat, I feel half myself again. If that's all that Mordor has in store for us, you will find me elsewhere. I do hope Mary's alright. You seem long about the face, friend. Chin up. We will find some pleasant diversions to wash the taste of all that out. Quite. So we have plenty of options in here. Critical rating and finesse. Okay. I can take some of that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that one. And I'm gonna equip it instead of this one in here, I think. Or let us see. Yeah, we just lose so much physical mastery with this. And we don't even need the Light of Eärendil that much now. Okay, so let us continue where we left. Some more allegiances, and some more tokens. And here we are, level 20. So, we claim 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. A meal in Cormallen. Oh, what do we have here?
we've been thinking.
The Beriathan were looking for you once more. In fact, they were here only shortly before you arrived, and very excitable about some kind of expedition, it seemed to me. Yeah, that seems like something somebody else should have said, not Pippin. Maybe at the entrance of the hall, who knows?
We are going to Cormollin to see Frodo and Sam.
It has been a little while and they sent word that they are both feeling much recovered. Will you come and join us for a simple meal? Do not worry, you will feel just like one of the hobbits. There is always more room at the round table, as my uncle used to say.
It is so good to be here with you, old friends. And doing something so hobbit-like as sharing a proper meal.
Come on, Sam. But really, what was in it? Nothing at all but a bit of wax. Peculiar indeed. So good seeing you here, guys. Yeah, you do deserve some meals. You've earned that. There you are, Beriathan, at last.
You needn't worry. We started without you.
Don't worry, Beriathan. We didn't wait to start eating or making merry. Still, I am awfully glad you are here to join us. I don't think we are in any danger of running short on food or drink, for that matter. Sit down and have some, please. Oh, don't you mind, Pippin. We saved a place for you, and that is what truly matters. True, Pippin never has had any manners. As if you were one to speak. Okay, let me have some food. Quite hungry myself. But where were we again? Sam was just telling us of the many lavish gifts he has received. Come now, Mr. Pippin. Yeah, do tell, Sam, please.
Listen to me for one moment.
They weren't so lavish as all that, as you put it, and besides, less than half were mine, truly, but only gifts Mr. Frodo refused. He has taken not a one gift, has he? Though ever so many have been laid at his feet these last days. But tell us, Mr. Merry, about this hidden house they have built for us, and what a palace it is, or so I've heard tell. It barely nearly is a palace, Sam, though it was only restored and not built afresh. Still, it is something of a marvel, wouldn't you say, Pippin? Nor is it very far off. You must come and join us there soon. There are rooms for both of you. I might have gone quite over the top reading them for you. There are kitchens and gardens and baths, open-air pits, and quiet cook. Well now, this is something I really must see. Yeah, it's a nice place. I think it's my least favorite Allegiance Hall, but it's nice to be in anyway. And so this is what keeps you so busy and away from here so long. Well, that, and we have been into Mordor. Pippin, please tell me that you're joking. Yeah, that's exactly what Gandalf was trying to tell them.
Steady now?
No, and much has come of it, as I will tell you if you will stop frowning so sternly at me for a moment and listen. I confess, when first we set our hearts on seeing Mordor, it was a foolhardy lark. We were thinking only of the treasure chest Bilbo was said to have returned with, and seeing what we had not yet seen. But that is not all that what we found. Merry goes on to describe the two encounters with the half-orcs, the riddles they let drop, and all that followed in the hopes of unraveling them. And so you see, Frodo, we had a proper adventure of our own in the end. No, I see you're not. All the same, you must promise me you will not go into Mordor again. But don't you see, the mystery is unsolved. Are we not to see our own adventures to their conclusions too?
I am being serious now.
No, Pippin, I am being quite serious. Those clever arguments might work on Aragorn or Gandalf, who do not see things quite at our level, as it were. But it is me to whom you are talking. The time of hobbits going into Mordor should be done, I think. In fact, I have been thinking a great deal about how the time of our adventuring is coming to an end. Coming to an end? How do you mean, Mr. Frodo? What I mean, Sam, is that it will soon be time to turn our gaze homeward, to think less of there and more of back again. You're right, of course, Frodo, but could you do so with a little more sunshine? Well then, let us bring to turning homeward and to sunshine far from shadow. But really, you must promise me. Yeah, listen to Frodo if you're not listening to anyone else.
The thing is, there are questions that still want answering.
You do see into our hearts, Frodo, as only a hobbit and an old friend could ever do. Well, you have my word then. Yours too, Mary? Good. Neither of us shall go back into Mordor during our stay in Gondor. But if the riddle of those squinty fellows drives me to gibbering, it will be on your conscience. Ha! Nor will it be the first thing, friend. Certainly not, considering you gave Baggin to the Sackville Bagginses. My poor old gaffer. I shudder every time I think of it. I do. Do I need to talk to another hobbit? Don't tell me this has balked on us again. I know. That's it. Thank you. Was a nice meal. I enjoyed it. And it was the perfect balance of not too short, not too long, unlike Forlong, for example. No, it was a great break from all the other action in Mordor. And it's nice catching up with Frodo too.
They were a sight for sore eyes, Frodo and Sam were.
If you ask me, Beriathan, that visit was long overdue. Now we must get the two of them up here sometime soon. Don't you worry either. We shan't break our promise to Frodo. Although, I have not quite finished puzzling over the riddles those fellows left for us. I have a queer feeling it may not be a closed book quite, when all is said and done. Really, Mary? Really, Pippin? Come on now. Okay, here we are, level 25. So let us continue claiming the rewards. 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. The last word.
We had been waiting for you.
Beriathan, there you are. Do you have a moment? We have been discussing Mordor.
We've been thinking.
How glad I am you are here, Beriathan. If you wish to know the truth, we were just talking about you. You see, we could not stop thinking about the two of those fellows who fled, and what they might know, and how they are still out there in Mordor. And we thought to ourselves, we made a promise to Frodo, and not for all the world would we break it. But Beriathan made no such vow. Oh, but you see where this is going, don't you? You are clever enough for a man, and no doubt about it. And anyway, we have heard some of the adventures you have had out there, and know you will be going back out there anyway. While you are there, why not track down these two fellows? Oh, say you will, Beriathan, won't you? Mary, you said a bit about where they might be.
I feel certain we are on the trail.
To begin with, they shan't be in Udun any longer. I have looked at the maps and they were nearly to Dor Amarth when we found them. If the wretches still think there is someone in Barad-dûr to buy their miserable tidings, then that is where they have gone. That then is where you should begin your search for them. In Barad-dûr? Have it your way then. We're almost done. We're almost done with the Hobbits, so yeah, I think we're gonna finish the entire Legends on today's episode. It makes more sense story-wise, even if it's a little long of an episode. But it's worth doing, in my opinion.
We are Gondor's eyes and Gondor's swords in this place.
So what's the fastest way? Shall we ride from Dingard, or shall we ride from the ranger camp? And to be honest with you, it looks like it's the same thing. We have a lot of these completed deeds for the company, the hobbits of the company, the allegiance. Anyway, a quick ride it is. as you have seen, in between quests, the hobbits make you think that some time has passed in between quests. And that is because you're supposed to do dailies and getting the tokens until you can get enough of them to unlock the next tier. So once again, that's the way in which this was designed, but hopefully we don't need to do any dailies, because let me tell you, grinding all the tokens you need to max out the 4 allegiances, man, that takes time. And that's time I'm not willing to spare right now. How far are we? God. Why not you to take me this far from everything? I don't know what you think, but I mean, Moria was a lot like Mordor. There was a lot of traveling around, not many travel locations, lots of enemies. And the revamp in Moria streamlined the experience a lot by adding a lot of swift travel locations. Some of them were only usable if you had the proper quest, but they were still there. And I don't know if Mordor could benefit from something like that. These kind of things, like, what's the point truly of making this ride just for 2 half-orcs? I don't know, I'm kind of torn on the matter, because on one hand it would be very convenient if we could save some of this traveling time. On the other hand, part of the appeal of Mordor is this is an inhospitable land. Not a lot of people come here. Establishing a foothold is not that common either. So I'm not sure if I would like to have more travel locations in Mordor in the long run. For this kind of quests, sure. Truly, give me some. But in general, I don't know. For the time being, let us see if we can find these half-orcs anywhere around here. Are they along the road? Oh, this is the place, but... But I don't see them. Where are they supposed to be? Where are they? Truly. Please don't make me lose a lot of time looking for the half-orcs. No idea where they are supposed to be. Should I go back to the main road? Is that what it is? Oh, come on. Ah! There can be no mistaking it. This was one of the 2 remaining half-orcs come to a bitter end. A look of abject misery and fear is etched across the half-orc's lifeless face. Signs of a struggle on the ground about him clearly show marks of both pursuer and pursuit, bearing roughly east. The tracks of the final half-orc lead onward. Barad-dûr, I assume. Alright. Why this has to be so? Keep your eyes open. If you see any tracks, another half-orc, I mean, this doesn't seem to be it. It seems we missed some of the tracks at some point. Ah, onward not to the east, but to the north. Oh my god, I feel so bad with myself right now. But the text said they were the trucks were going eastward, right? Anyway, here we are. Where's the other truck? The trucks of the final half-orc lead onward. Ah, okay. More tracks in here. Well, if this guy was fleeing to the Edit Litwi, I don't think he had a good ending. Yeah, sure, let me take these guys. Okay, so it seems he was making his way to Barad-dûr, but he didn't stick to the road. Makes sense, especially if he was escaping from someone or something. Okay, here we have the other. Ah, he's still alive. The trucks of the final half-orc lead onward. Yeah, he's here. Yeah, found the final half-orc.
Let me be!
You again? I should have guessed. Didn't bring your two little friends along, did you? Too dangerous, eh? Well, no matter. The half-orc is seized by a painful coughing fit. Not going to strike me? You've only come to mock me then. Laugh at how there is no red eye in that tumble-down tower out yonder. Nothing worth selling and no one a buying. Nothing but malice. Undead and illusions out there in this cursed place. I have half a mind that you are an illusion yourself. I suppose you'd love to know all about your precious Shire and the rest of that rot? The wizard's got his designs on it, he does. And he's been in and out of there for some years. Oh, don't let that tower look spoil your pretty face. He's got plenty of improvements planned. He and that LOTRO do. Plenty underway even now. Why, there's even a gate on the Brandywine Bridge now. Ah. Oh, leave me be, rich man. Leave me to die in peace. Okay, back to Bartorenian it is then. A door on the Brandywine Bridge. Who would have thought, huh? Gandalf is here and beckons you over. Okay.
Before you go a step farther,
Hold a moment, Beriathan. I know where you have been and guess what you have learned, for I have known the truth of it myself for some little while, though through somewhat different means. You cannot, of course, withhold the truth from Pippin and Merry in any broad sense, but allow me to counsel you that they need not hear every painful detail you have learned. Think for a moment of the many days of happiness that lie ahead, and the bitter challenge that lies in wait for them after the long road home. Does that foreknowledge bear any good? I do not think it does. Prepare them for the hard truth when they can see it with their own eyes, for that is an honest kindness, but perhaps no more. Weigh my words and act on your own judgment. That is all I ask. Of course, I needed to find an explanation as to why Merry and Pippin have no idea what's going on in the Shire. When they get there...
You found them? Tell us!
There you are! What a great face! Tell us what you have learned, please. I cannot take the suspense a moment more. Choosing your words carefully, you confirm what the two hobbits believed they knew. That the wizard must have been Saruman and that he had designs on the Shire. You suggest more generally that the Shire they returned to might not quite be the Shire as they left it. But, with the words of Gandalf ringing in your ears, can't bring yourself to tell them no more. After a long pause, Merry finally speaks. I see then. Those fellows worked for Saruman then, and fled him hoping to profit from a new master. Rotten luck for rotten apples, I say. And so all those barrels of pipeweed were more than his own smoking habits, I take it. Still, I don't see how much harm that can do. There's only so much hornblower farmed each season, and if too much goes missing, it is sure to be noticed. Pippin, Beriathan, can we make a pact not to burden Frodo or Sam with this? They have been true enough, and if there is trouble of some kind in the Shire, I had far rather they learn that when we get there and not have it spoil these golden days of celebration. It shall weigh on my own heart enough, I know, though I think I shall work hard to forget about it a while. And yet I know I cannot forget about going home any longer. That I shall remember every moment from this time forward, I am afraid. Okay, and the last one. So we're gonna use, I think... Can we not use a bulk of them? Oh, come on. I think we just need a couple more of this. There we go, level 30. Let us claim the rewards. Level 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. World behind and home ahead. And that is, if I remember correctly, that is part of a lyrics from one of the songs Bilbo wrote that you can find in Fellowship of the Ring, and that Peter Jackson later used in Return of the King. And Pippin was the one singing it. So that's a nice Easter egg. Allegiances of Middle-earth, 15 LOTRO points, marks, modes, title, virtue XP, okay.
Hello?
You are too early, Beriathan. You did get our formal invitation, didn't you? No? Well, you're here all the same, and that is always a good thing.
We've invited everyone. You must join us.
We wanted to have everyone here, you know. Aragorn, Gandalf, Gimli, the Fellowship, and everyone else who has really mattered on this whole adventure. And that certainly includes you, Beriathan. Since you are here early, why don't you stay around and help out? Well, there is no real work to be done. All these helpful Gondorian men see to that. Well, I'm a Gondorian man myself, so maybe I can help them. But you can keep me and Mary in good company until the others arrive. Or that too, you know.
Would you look at this? All of us here again, gathered round. At least as many of us as there could be. What I mean to say is, well, it wouldn't be so, if not for our friend here.
Alright, well said Sam, better than I could have said it by far. If you aren't mocking me, Mr. Mary. I hope you aren't mocking me. Now that we know you well, Sam, we would not dare to do so. I know, you really are mocking me. Mr. Your leech. He only mocks in part, and the lesser part at that. Oh, leave Sam ways be and pass the gravy this way, will you? There, do you see, Sam? And that is hobbits for you, as loyal to their friends as their gravy. You're right. You're totally right, Sam. You have got it more rightly than you imagine, Gimli the dwarf. You have got it, yeah. And after that, the plate of greens. What an adventure it has been, friends, and how glad I shall be to go home. Frodo, I could not agree with you more. Alright. Oh no, but I wanted to take the picture. Give me a moment, please. I just want at least this picture of the table. I was trying to get different angles, but if that can't be, at least that one. That was a really short one. That was really fun. That was a nice one.
It truly is time to look towards home.
Oh, how I am stuffed. It rarely happens, but I must confess I have somewhat overeaten. No matter, I shall sleep it off and rise to a new day tomorrow. I realize that you have adventures yet before you, Beriathan, and that what Frodo said about turning our gaze homeward was meant for us and not for you. Still, I wanted you to know how much we have benefited your company, not to mention your bravery these days. I hope we shall still see you again from time to time. Farewell, friend. Mary, please talk to me.
We owe you much, more than I think we could ever repay.
You have helped us out a great deal, Beriathan, and we shall never forget it. I know you are going off to help others now, but I have a curious feeling we will see each other again, here or elsewhere, perhaps back in the Shire when the time comes. Until then, good speed and glad tidings. This one I can get behind, maybe I can use this cloak. Okay, there we have it. That's the Hobbit Allegiance. So as I told you before, it was just setting up the scouting of the Shire. So the half-orcs that we found in Mordor, Saruman and Treebeard, even a brief mention to the Sackville Bagginses that play a big part in it as well. Plus some nice meals with some old friends. And now that I've been able to experience the whole thing from start to finish in one sitting, I think I've enjoyed it a little bit more than the last time. Keep in mind, if you don't have enough tokens and you need to do the dailies to get the reputation and you unlock each tier day after day, imagine doing this over the course of 7 or 15 days. That's why I found that one tedious and uneventful, but as it is, when you're able to do it all at once, it flows a little bit better, I gotta say. So that's it for the Hobbit Allegiance. Join me next time and we'll tackle the allegiance with the men of Gondor. For the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.